The whistleblower Chelsea Manning is joining as a security contractor at the privacy startup NIM to audit their Mixnets. Now, this was interesting for a few different reasons. One, I was thinking about when I was writing the story this morning, how much I've come to really enjoy the word audit in the context of technology generally. Like, it's a very boring thing, but it is so necessary and fundamental to everything that goes in. And we talk about it often on the show in relation to hacks and everything else. So NIM's interesting. They're working on a Mixnet, which is essentially a mixed network. And you can think about it in a couple different ways. But when you're looking at the internet, you can do metadata level surveillance, which is sort of like in relation to, mobile technology or something, like when the NSA is looking at who's calling who, how long they're talking on the phone, and who else those people are talking to, even if they can't read the content of those calls. A Mixnet works in a different way where you can't see that. It's kind of like you take the data packages that are moving around the internet, like a game of Yahtzee, you shake it up and you release it at different points and, in a different sequence such that people can't really tell exactly what data was going where and when it was input and output. So they've been working on this privacy tech for a while, which is specifically oriented to protect against state-level actor surveillance. So Chelsea Manning is joining, going to be auditing this code, and just a really kind of interesting turn of events for this whistleblower who was, in prison not even that long ago for leaking data around the Afghanistan and Iraq wars. But Naomi, I want to get your initial thoughts on this one.
Yeah, I thought it was super interesting. I haven't really heard much about Mixnet or, other kind of mixers. We all know Tor, and Chelsea actually made a statement mentioning Tor, saying, I frequently called for research into alternative methods to Tor that avoid exposing the data within the network to such analysis. And it is really cool that now we are getting better technology around this that can help protect people, specifically help protect whistleblowers or reporters, people who are, speaking truth to power or pushing back against the status quo or people in powerful positions. So I'm a big fan of this, very interested to see what NIM comes up with and how do the security audits actually turn out there. But definitely this is the direction we need to be moving in society as companies and governments are just siphoning up all of our data. They're just collecting everything out there. And so it's incumbent on individuals to start protecting themselves. And, we have technologists to thank who are helping us protect ourselves. They're creating great tools that help obfuscate our data so that it can't all be collected. So yeah, just keeping an eye on all these cool tools out there that we can be using today is a great idea for all of us as we just increasingly, move forward in this digital age. But Jen, I'll throw it to you for your thoughts on this.
Yeah, I guess my thoughts when I read the article are a little bit left field, but we've spoken so much on the show about, regulators stepping in when it comes to big security breaches like the Colonial Pipeline, let's say. And I was just starting to think around these third-party audits. I can see something like this becoming commonplace. Like, why don't we make it a rule that third-party audits by people who really understand what's going on under the hood need to happen before your product launches, like in this case. And so I think this is a good step in the right direction, and I hope that we see more of it.
Make it a rule? Who would make it a rule?
I'm all for
Decentralization, no rules.
I think it should be a rule. I think it should. I really think it should, because companies have proven that they're not doing it themselves.
Wait, they are
doing
it.
Governments have proven that they don't know what they're talking about, and how would they even know what standard to ask for in terms of tests? They have no idea. They can't tell their left foot from their right foot. And you're expecting they'll be able to come in and say, yes, that is a valid audit. Like, they have no idea. So no, it should not be up to the government.
Auditors should. Okay, maybe it shouldn't be up to the government, but there needs to be something that happens.
And that's when the free market's coming in and providing these third-party audits.
What is Chelsea Manning's history in the audit space?
Good question.
Yeah, I'm wondering.
So Chelsea actually is like an engineer as well, and a privacy and security engineer. I don't have firsthand knowledge of this, but I know that Chelsea Manning has been talking to a lot of people in this space, and that was sort of the emphasis too of this article. There is, they're coming in and they are going to be, doing an audit. And this has also been done before, right? This isn't the first time NIM's tried to stress test its code. And I think that was really important when, we know of Chelsea Manning as a whistleblower and a variety of other things, but I think it's important to see her re-enter this space in a really acute way. And also just have some interest in privacy technologies and Mixnets and these sorts of things in a way that, continues to move forward around the origins of her going to prison, for example.
Yeah, I guess my question is, I know some people on the NIM team, and I think it's a very legitimate project. But typically when you have these cryptographic audits, you hire entire firms and they go through the code base and they take months to do it. Like there's a few firms I can think of off the top of my head, but they hire them to do like intensive scrutiny, and they typically don't do like one-off people. So I'm wondering what Manning's involvement is in that capacity. Like, does she have a team, or what's going on that angle? But I don't know if the story got into that at all at this point.
Yeah, those details are still coming out for sure. This is going to be a months-long process. It was what it looks like, but well, certainly there will be more details coming out as this moves along.